press and hold, then you have it on. Very convenient for when you're traveling. From now on, battery life, performance, blade, how hot it gets, how comfortable it is to work through a full day. Lever seems to be very comfortable to use with the left hand.
All right, all right. I'm gonna go through the details on the Veloce Lite Clipper. The Clipper itself has a lighter body than the Hyper Veloce ever had. And if you've used the Clipper for any amount of time, you would see that very much like the Gamma Cyborg, it's a heavy clipper to work an entire day with. And maybe that's some of the complaints that Cocco listened to have a lighter clipper, to have a clipper that suits an entire day's worth of load work, and that also can travel with you. I think a lot of, and it's a theme across this clippers setup, is that it's a travel clipper, in my opinion. So it has even a lock button for when you throw it in the bag, that it won't turn off or on automatically. So it's great for you to know that nothing's going to be shaking and that you're going to have a full battery for the next time you try to use it. It also has a USB-C, which makes it even more convenient to have it charged on the go. For the weight of this clipper, we're going to weigh it in and compare it to a couple other clippers that I have. The clipper itself is a plastic body, so it will be definitely lighter than the Hyper Veloce and the Veloce traditional clippers. This comes in at 265 grams, or just under 265. The comparison, because of a plastic body, will be, and I'll put the numbers here, dramatically different to the father, the Hyper Veloce, because it has a much slimmer body. It might be the same length, but it has a much slimmer body if you've used it, and it has a plastic casing as well. Now, comparing it with the T-Pop Play, which is my main and primary clipper, that has a metal body. It has 279 on the dot, maybe a little fatter, and another big one would be the Gamma Cyborg, which is probably the heaviest clipper, besides a detachable that you'll see out and about, and that comes in at 438 grams. Very heavy. The comparison for the Gamma Cyborg is because it also has a left-handed swappable lever, and I'm a left-handed guy, so that comes in handy. Next up, the W Mark X1, and that is a beast. That is a metal backing but plastic front clipper, so it does weigh a little bit more because of that. It also has a vector motor, and it's equipped with the babyless MIM blade. Back to the clipper itself, the profile of it is very slim. It's very sleek, so I would definitely recommend the Cocco grip stickers for it. It also has a very good blade, which was optional in the original Hyper Veloce, the F1 gap blade. It you can turn it on and off just by clicking the button, but if you're traveling and look, you can have it pushed in and then you will lock the button. Nothing will turn it on. That is very convenient, and it could come in handy for you barbers that are on the road quite a bit. Now, for the switching of the blade lever from side to side, unlike the Gamma that has two different levers, this is the same lever, you just switch sides. So it's a symmetrical look, even though it's on the other side. So it's simple enough. The whole mechanism works inside the lever itself. You don't need to worry about the screws coming off or the little pieces not working together. Everything is inside the housing of the lever itself. So you take out this screw, this protector screw here. I believe it's optional. It might just be there to protect and to cover the hole. It doesn't exist in the Gamma Cyborg, so
Okay,
it's optional.
It comes with this
The screw,
protector, I
when I
guess,
first
and I
saw
think
it
it just helps
in
the
Barber
hole
Expo here in
not
Vancouver,
be
I thought that
covered by
the
air or
cover
stuff
hole
like
was
so.
for
And again,
to
unlike
align the blade,
the
and that's what
Gammas,
the
it
guy
has
at the
only
stand
one
told me
lever.
as well.
The Gammas
He
have
said that
a special lever
the
for
cover
each
was
side because it
to
has a
align the
tendency
blade,
to be
like a lot of other clippers
really
have
nice,
a spring to help that be
nice sound
aligned.
to it. I love it.
And I believed it until I looked at further, and on some of
All
the
right,
ads for it, I saw the lever on the left side,
straight
which
up.
is a plus for me. I've been trying to use more and more
One,
clippers with the
2,
left-handed
3,
lever.
4, 5 positions, 4 clicks,
As a
5
left-handed, we
positions.
get
So you
used
do
to
have a
working with stuff
perfect
on the wrong
pathway. And
side,
I
but
searched it up
it's really
and
cool
I
to have
realized
that
that it's
option.
supposed to have the, but it seems to be a solid blade. It doesn't come zero gapped, so it does have about like a, let's call it a millimeter off, and it's not the most gapped blade, but it's fairly even. I wouldn't touch this right away, but I'm curious to see how gappable and how close this can be. Feels like a very well balanced clipper. On the video, it seems a bit long, but for comparison, this is the regular TPOB, and it's a little bit longer, but the TPOB is very slim and small. So this manages to be even slimmer on the bottom, and the bottom part doesn't really affect how you hold the clipper. It might affect if you're trying to get into small corners, but that's why the smaller clippers exist, like the Saber 2s and even the TPOB Play Minis. So very good ergonomics. It does vibrate quite a bit, but again,
But we
mainly
also
it's
have to
because it's a
consider
plastic
that
body,
it's
and
the
the
same motor
expectations have to be
as
adjusted
the
so that you're
Hyperveloci,
not
and
expecting
it
the most
has a
solid
lighter
build.
body.
Even though
So
this
the
feels
torque will
like a
help
very good
vibrate the
plastic,
clipper
and
no matter
it
what.
does look really nice on the station. So yeah, it's got a USB-C charger, and it's got the prongs for the dock. So the dock, it's just these two connectors. Funny taper blade because it has no grooves on the back. Um, so it would look more like a wall taper blade. I only have a wall fade blade here, but it looks very similar except for the curvature, but it's very flat on top. Curious to see what it looks like on the bottom, if it has any grooves or if it's a flat blade. That's what it looks like on the station, and I normally have my cables like that because I don't keep my docks on the station. I wait until the end of the day to charge my clippers up. I have a few that I normally go throughout the day, and so that's what it looks like. And then the green light comes on. I think if it's blinking, it's charging. If it's a steady light, it's fully charged. And just for a comparison, this is what the Gamma Cyborg dock looks like. It takes up double the space in almost all dimensions. It's a massive clipper, fully metal body. It feels solid in the hand, but it might be a little too much to handle like for a fully booked day. Next test is to see if they fit the Gamma tight guards. I really like the Gamma tight guards for how similar it looks to the wall guards, and they're magnetic, and that is a big bonus for me. I keep my guards all lined up like this for easier access, and so magnetic is definitely a big thing for me. It's very snug. Doesn't click as tight as the. This is not going anywhere, but it's definitely not as
This
clean
follows more of
of a
the
click
babeless
as it's
architecture,
on
so it's
some
that
other
hair bit
blades.
longer that when you're
You
trying to
hear a
put the
little bit
blade
more of a
the guard
snap
on a
when you
blade,
put them on
unlike
like
the
a T-pop.
T-pobs that
Yeah.
just click
So
and
this is
they're
absolutely
solid,
not going anywhere.
that
And a similar,
has that little
similar. I'm
bit
not going to
extra
call it
that
a problem. I'm not going to call
feels
it a
gives you
problem,
that
but
sense of
a
unsafety.
similar
I prefer
thing
to use
happens
the
with
guards that
the
come with it or
Fabulous
the
blades.
babeless guards,
If
just to be on the extra safe side.
So the final thoughts on the Cocco Veloce Lite. Seems to be a solid clipper, like a budget-friendly, and maybe a lighter version of something that you already like. I like the Coccos, the previous version, the Hyper Veloce and the Veloce. This should be like a lighter version, maybe to bring around, maybe for house calls. It's a USB-C charger. It should be very toolbox friendly. The base also uses USB-C to charge up. So it has the lock button for if you want to travel. So you can keep pushing it until it blinks red, and then you're not going to turn it on. It's not turning on. Then you press and hold, then you have it on. Very convenient for when you're traveling. From now on, battery life, performance, blade, how hot it gets, how comfortable it is to work through a full day. Lever seems to be very comfortable to use with the left hand. Some of the clippers I have can't be modified like this. What do you think? Different way of seeing and to maybe even respecting left-handed barbers. I know that a lot of people like myself have been using regular clippers for a long time. I've been a barber for 15 years. So it's a nice thing that's coming up to help left-handed people. It's nice to be part of a group, be considered by the big brands. And I don't know how much this costs to have this thought. I don't know if this is just a test for Cocco for future projects. And I think this is a nice implementation. All right, now I'm going to officially temporarily retire my Yema, and it's time for the new guy on the block to take place.
Don't forget to leave a like on the video and stay tuned for the long-term review of the Cocco Lite Clipper. Thank you very much. See you next time.